Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a proper 3 marker challenge. Now I've done similar kinds of challenges in the past, but they really weren't using proper alcohol markers. So now that I have a nice wide variety of colors as well as brands, I figured I would do a proper 3 marker challenge. Now you can see I have quite an array of different brands here, all organized by color families as I've sort of decided they fit. And I have them in a few of these Daiso Japan sort of organizers that I've put together. If you're interested in me talking about how I put this together, let me know. Right now, I store them on their sides like so that all of the ink stays in the marker nicely. But I wanted to show you all the colors I have. Now in a future video, I would really love to go over the different brands I have and how I use them, both cheaper and more expensive, mostly the Copics. And I want to make a video about how to get started in markers. How to get started in marker art and how to start investing in these supplies, because it does get really expensive. I will hopefully make a video about that soon. But for the sake of today's video, I figured I would stick with one brand that people know and trust, which is Copic. So let me first go through and take out all of my Copics and separate them from the rest of my markers. I'm deciding to omit the colorless blender just because that is lack of color. So I am not going to count this. Okay, so here is my basket of markers that I will be picking, and here is the camera to show my face while I am picking to prove that I am not looking, and I will be completely blind. Whenever I decide that I'm touching a pen, that is the marker that I am picking out. Okay, so I'm gonna take my glasses off so we can further prove that I don't know what I'm doing, and I will close my eyes and pick out 3 markers. Okay, this one, whoop. This one. I'm gonna pick all 3 and then look at them. Okay, that one. Okay, this one. And one more. That one. Okay, these all seem to be Ciaos. So these are the 3. Okay. Let's see what I got. Ooh, oh, wow. Okay, these are not my favorite colors. This one is Y06 or yellow, just straight up yellow. I know that one's pretty saturated and maybe not dark, but very saturated color, which I tend not to use as much. This one is G29 or Pine Tree Green. That's a dark color. Whew, okay. And YR02 or Light Orange. These 2 might blend okay, but they're so saturated and this one's really dark. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do something with these 2. But I honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. All right, let's draw something. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is swatch out these colors. I am going to be using just a cheaper cardstock that you can find at Michael's, just because this is a challenge video and I'm not sure how it's going to go. So a pretty small piece of paper, but I have a little tiny piece of paper to swatch out these colors and really see how they blend or don't blend. We're gonna find out. Okay, so you see me trying to blend these colors out, and I'm just experimenting on this little scrap of paper to see what kind of color range I can get. Once I saw what my color palette was going to look like, I decided to label all the marker colors just in case, and I quickly searched on my phone for a flower that was yellow, and I believe this was the first picture that came up, and I realized it was the perfect palette for me to use. Now, I know that some people like if you create an image and then pick your colors. I find that that's not all that helpful for me. I like to use this challenge and really any of these art challenges as a way for me to experiment with the colors I have, the materials I have, and in general become a better artist by using challenging color schemes. That doesn't mean that I need to use challenging color schemes on top of line work that has nothing to do with the color scheme. I find that that's just not very helpful. So I decided to let the colors dictate what I was going to draw. And I thought about doing a character or something else, but I really kept seeing these colors as something botanical, so I figured I might as well try that and maybe make something a little bit more on the realistic side. I really love drawing plants, and I don't draw a ton of flowers, and so I figured this would be a really good way for me to practice getting down the shapes and using colors that I really don't prefer to use. Yellows and oranges I don't use a ton. I use a lot of greens and in general pastel-y colors. So these very vibrant and bright colors were definitely a bit of a challenge for me, and I think it ended up being a really successful challenge because I was pretty proud of the outcome. I really debated throughout this entire challenge if I wanted to use some sort of liner to outline the shapes, and wasn't going to at first, and I even used this green in place of a black on the petals for the flowers. But I decide that I want to have the shapes a little bit more defined, so I use this Tec C black pen, or liner, I guess, in the size, I believe it's 0.4. And so I go through and outline these shapes. And here is the finished result. I'm actually pretty happy with it, and drawing something more on the realistic side was also a challenge with a limited color palette, but I think it turned out pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this challenge, please leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see more artsy things from me in the future. And make sure to comment down below if you want to see me do a particular challenge on this channel in the future. Bye guys!